Hey guys, what's up? I'm back, and in this video I'll be explaining a different way to create an oil portrait painting with techniques that I've used and that I continue to use. So assuming that you already have your materials ready and you have your concept sketched out, it's basically simple from here. So first I start by coating the canvas with a nice burnt umber wash. You can also do this in acrylic, or with what I do normally is that I use oil, and I use linseed oil and white spirit to lighten the medium so it can dry quicker before I start painting. And as I start painting, I paint and block out areas. Normally it's from dark to light, but for this one I decided to try from light to dark to see if that makes it much of a difference. So also I think it's very important to explain why I coat the painting with burnt umber wash before I start painting, and that's because it makes it easier to see the color values when you are applying the colors from your palette onto the canvas, as opposed to a white canvas, which could make it a bit hard to really see the values when you start painting. That's the whole reason why I coat the canvas in a burnt umber brown. It doesn't have to be brown necessarily. You could also use, some people use gray, some people use red or transparent yellow, depending on what you think works for you, but that's how I do it, and it works for me every time I apply it. So at this stage, as you can see, I added different patches of color from the highlights to now the darks. Sometimes I don't necessarily follow a strict guideline as to how I'll start painting a portrait or whatnot. I just go with the flow. As you can see, I'm jumping from different areas. I find it hard to focus clearly on one area to perfect it, because I do know that it's part of the process. You know, it's more about layering than it is perfecting a layer at a time. And besides, when you don't have the time to work on a painting to perfection, you realize that it's more about speed and convenience than it is about perfection, because perfection takes a lot of time. So I try to focus on getting the overall form and not the details. Also at this stage, if I have any tips to give to beginners or people who might not feel confident in their painting skills yet, as you can see, I don't know if this stage for you would not look as great as it is, because, you know, personally I don't think it's great, but then I do know that I have the confidence to keep going. But, you know, it goes back to what I said before, you know, trusting the process and allowing yourself to, you know, step back, just look at values and paint and get in the flow of being within the stage of working on your painting, and everything at the end will work itself out. And in addition, another thing I wanted to mention would be, if you guys are interested in seeing how to mix flesh tones, how to mix skin colors to match whatever it is you're painting, do let me know in the comment section below, and I'll try and make a video that explains what I do to create skin tone, to create that realistic transition from light to dark, or basically to make the colors look more convincing. I think the misconception that a lot of people have when it comes to oil painting is that they think you can get skin colors that are catered for the exact subject that you're painting. For example, I was actually asked this question once, if you can get colors specifically meant for black people or Caucasian people, when in reality you could mix a whole range of colors, hence why I prefer oil painting over, let's say, pastel or whatnot, which is a lot easier, but that's a different subject for another day. So as we get into the background, I think for this one it was a bit tricky, because I wasn't too sure how to break down the background from the foreground and at the same time make the foreground pop up. So I decided to first try a dark forestish type green color. I don't know what you call it specifically, but basically just to block out the background, because the brown was distracting from the actual skin tone. It made it hard to differentiate what was going on. And from this point forward, I decided to use something of a light baby blue-ish color that I mixed with my titanium white to give it that, you know, glow within the background. and the end is more about playing around and finessing your forms, or finessing your brush strokes, seeing which works, seeing what sticks. And if you are satisfied with the end result, then I leave it as that. But one thing I love about this stage is that you can keep on going. You can decide when you stop, and you can decide to come back to it at a later point. There's literally no pressure on this, and it's literally up to you what you want to do with it. And with that being said, thank you for watching. Do send your comments down below. If you could like, subscribe, and comment, like, and share, I would really appreciate that. Till the next video, happy painting, and let me know what type of materials you guys use when you start your paintings, as well as your process as well. I think it's very interesting to learn how people do things, because at the end of the day, we all start from the basics and the fundamentals, but we have our own ways of doing things. I'd love to hear your comments on that and your takes. Ciao.